Okay, we had some technical difficulties on part 4, so I'm just going to go ahead and make this a part 5 and pick up with problem number 22 again. Okay, so it takes 0.7 hours to paint a wall, 2 hours to replace a light fixture. The function below can be used to find W, the number of walls painted, and the number of light fixtures replaced in a 40-hour work week. If the employee painted 40 walls, well, W is our number of walls. He did that in 1 week. How many light fixtures did he replace that week? So basically we are solving for L when we know what W is. We know that this is going to be 40 equals 40 minus 2L over 0.75, and we need to solve for L. Well, the first thing we need to do is clear our fractions. So we are going to multiply everything by 0.75. When we do that, we get 30 equals 40 minus 2L. We are solving for L, so we're going to subtract 40. So we get negative 10 equals negative 2L. Divide both sides by negative 2, and we get 5 equals L. So how many light fixtures? 5. So we come over here, we put our 5 here, make sure to color in the bubble for 5. Okay, moving on to the back and the last couple of problems. It says write the equation of a line graphed in point-slope form. So remember, point-slope form is y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. So notice that all of our slopes are the same here, so we don't need to worry about counting out our slope. So what I'm going to do is go through each of these and replace them in here and see if it matches any of these. So x is 1, y is 1. So for this one, for our point 1, 1, we're going to have y minus equals negative 3 times x minus, we put a 1 in each of those. So we get y minus 1 equals negative 3 times x minus 1. X minus 1 is not an option. We do have some y minus 1s, but not this one. So this is not the point they used. So let's try 0, 3. So we do y minus y sub 1 equals negative 3 times x minus x sub 1. Well, x is 0 and y is 3. So we need a y minus 3 equals negative 3 times x minus 0. That is not in our options. So let's try then negative 1 and 5. Y minus y sub 1 equals negative 3 times x minus x sub 1. Y sub 1 is 5. X sub 1 is negative 1. So at this point, we simplify. Y minus 5. Well, we only have one option that's y minus 5. Here's negative 3, and subtracting a negative is the same as adding a positive. So this is the answer choice that we are going to want. For number 24, says an arithmetic sequence is defined by f of n equals 2 minus 2 times n minus 1. What is the 8th term of the sequence? We have to remember that n is the term number. So this is going to be replaced by an 8. So basically what they have is f of 8 equals the first term minus the difference times 8 minus 2. So f of 8 is going to equal 2 minus 2 times 6, so that's going to be 2 minus 12, which is then negative 10. Pardon me. So that is negative 10. Okay, number 25, this will be the last problem we do because 26 is the same as 23, so this will be our last one. It says write the equation of a line that has a slope of negative 9 and passes through the point negative 4, 2. They gave us a slope and a point, so I'm going to go ahead and use point-slope form. So we have y minus y sub 1 equals our slope. I'm going to go ahead and put a negative 9 there. X minus x sub 1. Well, x sub 1 is negative 4 and y sub 1 is 2. So we have y minus 2 equals negative 9 times x plus 4, because subtracting a negative is the same as adding a positive. So this would be the equation in point-slope form. But what if they wanted the equation in slope-intercept form? All we would do is solve this for y. So first thing I need to do is apply the distributive property on the right-hand side. Then I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So no matter what form they give you the equation, you can still use the point-slope form to get there, at least get halfway there if they give it to you in slope-intercept form. Or if they wanted it in slope-intercept form, you could just find your y-intercept by, remember that extended table that we used. So we know that the slope is negative 9. We know that x in this case is negative 4. And all of that has to equal our y value of 2. So we get 36 plus b equals 2. Subtract 36 from both sides, and we get b equals negative 34. And we already knew that our slope was negative 9, and that would still come up with our correct equation in slope-intercept form of negative 9x minus 34. So if your answer choices are in point-slope form, you can use point-slope form. If your answers are in slope-intercept form, you have two options. Use the point-slope form and solve for y, or go to the extended table, find your y-intercept, and make your equation. So this is the last video for your semester review, and good luck.